For CapitalWeatherGang.com, the week ahead is going to turn more unsettled, which means clouds, some rain, but at least we're kind of warm through Wednesday when we might see 70 degrees or even low 70s. But we cool down after that, remaining unsettled until we can clear things out maybe Friday afternoon into Saturday. So your weekend should start off okay, but at least it's a shortened work week. Let me know if you have any questions about the forecast for this upcoming week. Again, have the small umbrella with you. Prepare for a little bit of wind, more days than not, a little bit of breeze, and the latest forecast we have at CWG.news/latest. And anytime you need us, we're at CapitalWeatherGang.com, and we're going to be in for a warm one the next couple days, Tuesday and Wednesday. And hello, David, and hello, Maria. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you are both well, and happy President's Day to everyone out there, which today also marks the first time. Look at that average high temperature today, now 50 degrees for a high temperature at DCA Airport. Now we finally have hit 50 for an average at the year beginning of 2022. It took us a while to get there from our coldest readings of the winter, but now we're averaging 50 degrees for this time of year. So just keep that in mind. We're turning warmer and we're turning lighter. We now have 11 hours of daylight for most spots in the region. Thanks for joining me. I'm Camden Walker, broadcasting to all three, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Make sure you're following us on all three of these of our social media accounts where I'm simulcasting to you live. And next week, you'll be talking to me even a little later, closer to 6 p.m. as the evening light grows and our sunsets get later and later. So keep that in mind. So thanks for joining me on all of our three channels. Make sure you can comment on Twitter. You can go on Facebook and on YouTube. I'll see all of them. Hello, Peter. Appreciate all your daughters watching as well. Lewis, high winds, moderate winds are what I'll call them this week. I'm not yet worried about a high wind warning or anything like that. We could see a wind advisory, especially in higher elevations later this week. So I'm sorry to hear about your problems, Lewis. Amy, I'm glad you enjoyed the super day. The end of the week should cool down and settle down. We should be able to clear out into maybe some sunshine Friday afternoon into Saturday. So hope that offers you some hope. And David, I'm glad you're enjoying 50 degrees and later sunsets. And Joanna doesn't know what to wear these days. Thanks for joining in from YouTube. It is hard, a little bit of weather whiplash, a weather roller coaster. I mean, we're going up Tuesday and Wednesday. Look at that peak. We could be around 70, if not low 70s on Wednesday. And then we crash back down on Thursday when a few spots could see wintry mix, which we'll talk about in a moment, mixing in with the rain. And then Friday, maybe a little bit warmer again, kind of mild, above average, which is around 50 degrees starting today for this time of year. And look at that, cool again on Saturday. So we kind of go up and down this week. So hopefully you can keep up with the weather whiplash, and our bodies are going to have little difficult time acclimating at moments. But hopefully you can get out when you can, but do take that small umbrella with you. And it could be a little bit muggy on Tuesday and Wednesday. Maybe I'll say Wednesday. The dew points could get up near 60 degrees. So it's going to be a little bit sticky and humid for this time of year. So keep that in mind as well. All right, we've got Keegan. Snow is not too likely, but we'll talk about Thursday in a minute. You may have seen our snow potential index is a 1, only a 1 out of 10. And Ryan, 80 degrees where you are. That's why you're loving the Gulf Coast. Excellent. Thanks for tuning in, Ryan. And Heather, so tired of these ups and downs. You want one more snow and then spring. We'll see what we can do about that. And David, rain totals we'll talk about in just a moment. And Misha, want to go to the garden center. I think it's too early. We definitely have frosts possible through March and April, if not Mother's Day, along the I-81 corridor. So keep that in mind. And Keegan is getting antsy as well. And Amy, the rain tonight should start after midnight. Amy, good question. And Lewis, the pattern, we'll talk about how it might shift to a colder pattern next week. So stay tuned as we go through all of this. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Again, advertising today is the day we reached 50 degrees the first time of this year, where our average high temperature is now 50 degrees at DCA Airport, 33 degrees for an average low temperature. And we are getting later and later sunsets, and I'm simulcasting to you on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook. Thanks for joining. Anytime you need us, we're at CapitalWeatherGang.com. And here's the rain totals for the end of the week. Should, as it appears now, the precipitation this week should end on Friday morning. And we might get near an inch in several parts of the region. Now we're tracking ahead of the precipitation normally for this point in the year. We're tracking ahead of it. For the month, we're just a tad behind. So this should catch us back up, and we're doing great. We're not seeing any drought issues in the region. A couple spots southwest of town have maybe some abnormally dry conditions, but we're doing really good especially east of the Mississippi and the mid-Atlantic and the DC area. It's hard to find abnormally dry or any drought spots, so precipitation, we'll welcome it, but near an inch through Friday morning, not bad. We shouldn't see any concerns of flooding. This will help the long-term water table. We'll take it. Now, could some of this precipitation maybe not fall as rain? Yep, it's possible. A low impact event, low confidence though, for even along the I-95 corridor. We'll have to watch Thursday into Thursday night. Our SPI, or snow potential index, is only 1 out of 10, so please keep that in mind. And we could see all kinds of mixed precipitation. We're leaning toward rain, but yes, we could see some sleets. We could see briefly some freezing rain, maybe a little bit of snow, but you might have to be in the higher elevations northwest of town, so keep that in mind. It's looking like it's going to be a wintry mix, if anything, mixing with the rain. Most likely it's going to be rain on Thursday, but it's worth keeping in mind, and we agree with the National Weather Service, keeping a slight one eye open for the Thursday forecast and the Thursday night. So we'll keep an eye out. We'll monitor things for you at capitalweathergang.com, and if we see a higher chance of wintry mix accumulating or snow accumulating, we'll of course raise the snow potential index, our SPI. We track that every day on capitalweathergang.com. Currently only a 1 out of 10, indicating a 10% chance of accumulating snow, probably under an inch, but we will keep you posted. David likes to see this yellow, unlike late last year. Very good. I hope you just take that this is a slight risk for a slight chance for a winter weather impact on Thursday into Thursday night. And Keegan is not happy that the average high temperature is now 50 degrees. So keep that in mind, that we are warming slowly but surely, and you might even feel some of the pollen, which we've had just a little bit of the tree and the mold pollen, so keep that in mind. And of course, no snow has been added to our snow tracker, 12.3 inches for the year thus far, but we're doing okay in the snow department. I know snow lovers want a little bit more. And of course, when you think snow and cold weather, make sure you go check out our fundraiser at CWG.news/fundraiser. We're working with Gifts for the Homeless through this winter to try and raise a bit more money that goes directly toward warm clothing, and there's no overhead, no fees. 100% of what you donate goes toward helping clothe those in need of warmer clothes. So we work with them every year for the last 10 years or so, and they have no overhead and no fees come out of your donation. So keep that in mind. All right, what else do we have for you on the blog? We are covering the very stormy United States at CWG.news/StormyUSA this week. We are going to see some of this action here on the East Coast in the Mid-Atlantic. And of course, we also wrote about it over the weekend at CWG.news/TXenergy, the abbreviation for Texas, so Texas Energy. Check that out on this 1 year anniversary of the big Texas cold blast last year that many suffered blackouts and dangerously cold temperatures. Thursday's tough forecast has 2 storm systems nearby, Michael. That's why it's a low confidence forecast for this upcoming Thursday. And we just don't have the cold air at the surface for much of the region. It might be more of a higher elevation thing. It might be kind of north of I-66 is where higher chances are for snow or wintry mix accumulation. It's not an organized, discrete storm system that has cold air here sitting over the region where it can just push moisture off the ocean and the bay into our region. It's not a classic setup. It's too many pieces that want to move a little bit unpredictably. So we just are kind of keeping one eye open, not raising the alarm bells. Of course, as you see here, it's in the yellow. It's a slight chance of a low impact event. It's low confidence. So don't plan around it just yet, but we'll keep you posted at capitalweathergang.com. And of course, our latest forecast is available at CWG.news/latest. Right here, we are letting you know it's going to be an unsettled week. As you can see, lots of clouds and rain is what we mean by unsettled. Warm on Tuesday and Wednesday. We could get above 70 on Wednesday. Oof, crazy. And could be a little sticky with dew points above 60 degrees. And a little bit windy more often than not this week as well. But clearing out Friday afternoon into Saturday. So keep that in mind. And now our average high temperature is 50 degrees. We've reached that today at DCA Airport. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeathergang.com. Halfway through our 20-minute chat, we are on the air another 10 minutes. And Amy, thanks for tuning in and the kind words. That's most helpful. And I think, Mike, you might be looking at an earlier time Thursday for starting of the wintry mix in the valley. So I'm glad you're watching from the Mountain and Valley region of Virginia. It is perhaps more of a medium impact potentially, but still not the highest confidence there in the valley along the I-81 corridor. But I'd say even north of I-66 has the highest chances on the I-81 corridor of seeing some wintry mix for this upcoming Thursday. But I think, generally speaking, it's going to start a little earlier in the day, west of town, and then as it gets toward DC, it might be a little bit later on Thursday. We'll keep you posted on the timeline. It's a little bit iffy. We're going to watch the pieces come together, and make sure you check out our latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. And at least it's a short work week, right? So hopefully this has no major impact to our commute, and we'll watch it for you. All right, we've got Joanna doesn't know what to wear these days. We're up and down with these topsy-turvy temperatures. Indeed, it's a little bit difficult with weather whiplash this week. We're up and then down, and then cold again by Saturday, but at least we're sunnier then as well. Maria, you're most welcome for these weekly chats. I'm glad they start your work week off on a good note. And let me know if you have any other questions about this upcoming week's forecast at CWG.news/latest. You can check out all the details. And we're at capitalweathergang.com anytime you need us. As you can see, it's rainy. We could see a little bit of wind this week off and on. And we'd maybe clear out this rainy, unsettled, cloudy pattern Friday afternoon into Saturday. So it's going to stick with us. We could see a little bit of peaks of sunshine on Thursday as well. But of course, what makes it complicated is that we could see wintry mix, maybe a little bit of snow, especially north of I-66 on Thursday as well. So it's a little bit of a low confidence forecast. Should not be a impactful, high impact event, at least along I-95. But we'll keep you posted. I'm just letting you know, no alarm bells are being rung yet, but it's worth just keeping one eye open like we are on Thursday's weather. It's a little bit changeable. We don't have a lot of cold air sitting at the surface. We don't have a big shield of precipitation that wants to be thrust over us from the Atlantic. It's a couple pieces trying to come together, a couple storm systems trying to meld over our region. So it's messy, and we could see all types of our winter weather precipitation. Some snow, some sleet, some freezing rain. Generally speaking, we're leaning toward rain for Thursday, but temperatures at or below 40 degrees for a high temperature even around town means we could see some non-accumulating sleet and snow mix in with our rain. So generally speaking, the best chances for accumulation are north of I-66, kind of in the higher elevations, Northern Virginia into Maryland. And as you can see, over in the highest elevations of West Virginia and Cumberland area and Garrett County of Maryland, that's where it's more of an impactful event with higher confidence in those higher, colder spots, west and northwest of town. Let's see. We've got a question from Sneen Hall. Will it rain hard over the next few days or just kind of light off and on? I vote to best answer intermittent. It's going to be intermittent, a little bit steady, a little bit not. Doesn't add up to but so much through Friday morning. This is the storm totals through Saturday. Yep, Saturday, but we expect the precipitation to generally move out on Friday afternoon. So through Friday morning, near an inch of rain throughout the region. If you think about that, we've got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday morning. That's kind of 3.5 days where it only adds up to about an inch, if that, for the end of this week, total of accumulations of rain. So it's not too much. It is off and on. I generally want to recommend you have maybe a small umbrella on you this week so that you can be ready for the off and on rain, but generally nothing long lasting, nothing too heavy. It's going to be some rainy periods, but we might even see some peaks of sun amid our wintry mix on Thursday. It's a complicated forecast and it's messy. It's not great. But it is going to generally be unsettled and cloudy, rainy, warm through Wednesday, and then we kind of go back down into this David's talking about it, this transition of the roller coaster, weather whiplash for the last half of the week, but we should clear out by the weekend. So that's something for you. Hopefully that helps give you something to look forward to, some sunshine again, more reliably Friday afternoon into Saturday. So hope that helps a little bit. Let's see, we've got a rather roller coaster from David Sneehall. I hope I answered your rain being off and on. It's not going to be steady through all the next 3.5 days. And then we've got, thank you so much. I'm glad that worked for you. And then we've got Amy B. Thanks so much for tuning in, Amy JB. And David says, I like complicated forecasts. Yes, I do. It makes my job more interesting. My job is to make sure you get not only your weather forecast, but I'm communicating it clearly so that you can make the right decisions and plan ahead effectively. The problem is, it's hard to plan around this type of weather. It's kind of low confidence when we look ahead to what should be a low impact event, if any event, for winter weather, a wintry mix along the I-95 corridor on Thursday. So no alarm bells, don't make or change plans just yet based on the potential for wintry mix, at least along the I-95 corridor. But as you head west and northwest of town, you can see it becomes a slightly more impactful event potential and more confidence that it will be materialize into a winter weather impact event as you go well northwest of town, especially there in the orange. So keep that in mind. We could see all kinds of precipitation this upcoming Thursday. Generally, we're leaning rain, especially along the I-95 corridor, but we'll keep you posted on capitalweathergang.com. And of course, our snow potential index, our SPI is currently only at a 1 out of 10. So keep that in mind. Now, looking ahead, next week, we could be cold in blue here. There's a decent chance of being cold again, but precipitation might stay below average. So I just want to at least flag the temperatures could be a little bit chilly, if not very much below average, for late February into March as we start the month next week. So winter is not over with us, is not through with us just yet. So keep that in mind. And again, the drought situation, we're great. We're doing pretty awesomely on rain year to date. So we have very few drought spots there in kind of the orange along the Carolina coast. And abnormally dry has even been pared back in the yellow. So we're doing A-okay. And also on the blog, make sure you check out the latest at capitalweathergang.com. We've been working on with this weekend. CWG.news/StormyUSA kind of gives you a broad overview of the unsettled conditions throughout much of the U.S. And on the 1-year anniversary of the Texas cold snap, we've got CWG.news/TXenergy. So you can read up on how renewable energy might have improved the situation in Texas 1 year ago when the cold snap brought massive power outages in the state there. And of course, with our snow tracker, I always like to remind you our fundraiser is at CWG.news/fundraiser. Every dollar you donate goes toward warm clothes for the homeless, no overhead, 0 fees. 100% goes toward the charity and to keeping those less fortunate warm during the cold parts of the winter. So thank you for taking a look at that. And yes, we're thinking about pollen. It's already starting to pop a little bit in the region, a little bit of trees, a little bit of mold. We'll keep you posted as we get into March, which starts really getting going the allergy season. All right, I'm Camden Walker on the air for another 3 minutes or so. Average high temperature for the year has now reached 50 degrees at DCA Airport. We've done it. We've gotten out of the coldest part of our year, and now first time in 2022, we're at 50 degrees for an average high at DCA. Some of you still want some winter. Don't worry, winter, as I showed you a second ago, is not necessarily done with us as we get a cold snap potentially next week. Latest forecast at CWG.news/latest right there by Jason Samanow, our head editor. Anytime you need us, we're at capitalweathergang.com. As you can see by this forecast up here, it is unsettled. And what we mean by that, clouds and rain, maybe a little wintry mix on Thursday. Not going to maybe see much sunshine until Friday afternoon, if not Saturday. Off and on rain chances this week, but at least we're warm for Tuesday and Wednesday. Maybe a little bit sticky and humid as dew points get near 60 on Wednesday. But then the weather roller coaster, as we have talked about for the transition this time of year, it is going to be up and down this week a little bit. Look at that. Thursday gets cooler. Friday gets a little bit warmer, and then back down into below average cold on Saturday. So keep that in mind. A little bit of weather whiplash, a little bit of a weather roller coaster. Not the most fun times for our bodies. It's hard to acclimate and hard to dress. I actually agree with that complaint. It's hard to dress sometimes when the week ahead looks like this. But I appreciate you tuning in. We're getting later and later sunsets. Look at that, 11 hours of daylight now. We're definitely out of the darkest time of the year, out of solar winter. We're getting brighter and brighter, longer daylight, and I'm simulcasting to you right now. I'm Camden Walker at capitalweathergang.com on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook. Make sure you're following us on all 3 of our social media channels, and I'll talk to you right near 6 p.m. next week, next Sunday. I'll see you in 6 days now. But this has been a great holiday edition of our weekly Q&A chat, so thanks so much for waiting for the holiday. And rain totals for the week ahead looks like nearly an inch for many of us in the DC area, in the Mid-Atlantic. By the time all of this messy storm system action gets out of here Friday morning into Friday afternoon, it adds up to maybe near an inch. And of course, yes, I will pause on this for a second. We're watching for the low confidence, low impact event along I-95, but maybe a little bit more messiness with wintry mix in the central parts of Virginia and the Mountain Valley regions for Thursday in the higher elevations, especially north and west of town. So keep that in mind. I'm on air a few more seconds. Rebecca, you're most welcome. Tim, I love that you made a play on the word unsettled. And sneezing season, David, I know pollen is coming back. It's most unfortunate. And Rebecca, I hope you like the pie chart of the later and later sunsets and now 11 hours of daylight. And Rebecca's loving that sun. And David, you're most welcome. And take care, Amy, that's most kind. Steve, you are welcome as well. And again, wintry precipitation possible on Thursday. Generally, we lean toward rain for Thursday, especially along I-95, but we could see a wintry mix coming at us a little bit on Thursday. But generally, temperatures do not yield themselves to much, if any, accumulation, especially along I-95. But cold snap is possible next week, so keep that in mind. Temperatures could tumble a bit starting next week again. Winter temperatures are at least not done with us just yet. Just flagging, could be much below normal as we start the month next week. And yep, drought situation doing great. We're year to date at running ahead on our rain levels. And again, more content for you on capitalweathergang.com at these two links, so make sure you check these out. We have kept you up to date this weekend on the blog. And here's the last look at your forecast at a glance. I'm Camden Walker signing off for capitalweathergang.com and the latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. I will see you in 6 days next Sunday near 6 p.m. Have a good shortened work week. Happy President's Day. And